Well, folks, it's been quite some time since I've done a vlog, and I figure today is the perfect time. Nearly 9 months later, enough time for a child to be born, but I swear to God it wasn't mine. Even if somebody on Maury Tomorrow claims it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I'm doing this video because I thought I was going to be part of a poetry program this evening, and I knew that it had a special jazz band feature, but I'd come to find out on going down there that it was just a jazz band feature. So I'm making this video because, damn it, I'll have an audience whether they want me or not. But I will apologize to the good folks down at that show. I'm sure Calmunity is tremendous. I actually listened to a couple of clips while I was busying myself earlier today. And it may look sort of unkind of me not to, or non-supportive or something, not to stick around, but my $9 grand a year income doesn't allow me to do many excursions that aren't my own, and that notwithstanding, I am just recovering from a foot infection, so had I done my poem, I probably only would have stayed for a couple of songs anyhow. And pretty much every day, it's hard for me to pee, man. So I can't do a lot. I got to pick my battles. So I apologize if that sounds like I'm just making excuses or something. But I'm sure you folks had a great time, and I'll see you again soon. This may be a video of apologies. I'm going to apologize to my old pal Howard. We normally have our meeting on Thursdays. We're both recovering from life. No, that's not it. We're actually working on a one-man show together. Two-man operation for a one-man show. I'll let the cat out of the bag right now. What it is it's me starring as real-life Pinocchio, all grown up, and Howard is pulling the strings on the marionette from behind the curtain. And we fight about it like dogs. I want him to let me be a real boy, or man, as it were, and he's scared what that might do to people. So we're at loggerheads times, but I love him. And ladies, he's 55 years old and single, so you really should give him a chance because he's got a ton of wisdom, but yet still young enough to have the energy to enjoy it. So you can't go wrong there. And Mrs. Howard, I've got to apologize to you. I know he's not single now, technically, but you are 107 years old and undoubtedly in your autumn years. So, you know, I gotta look out. I've got to make plans for the next little while. So friends help each other. That's what I'm saying. And gonna apologize to somebody else here. My old buddy Big Daddy Delahanty for doing that poem printout for me that wasn't needed this evening. I'm sorry. I will need it sometime, and hopefully soon we'll be able to have a sody pop or 7. So I hope you're having a good night, brother. Okay, so before I do this poem, I just want to give a big shout out to the folks on Just CP Facebook group. I have cerebral palsy, and this group is for members who have cerebral palsy and nobody else. So all you disability enthusiasts, fetishists, whatever you may be, you can't join, even though you may want to. And I gotta help them because, or gotta give thanks to them rather, because they helped me, and they let me know about folks with cerebral palsy, say a level like mine, where I can live on my own with assistance. So many years ago, I would have been sort of just institutionalized, perhaps in a mental institution or worse. Or now it wouldn't have been a guarantee, but it was very common practice up to the 80s. That's what I thought. I looked up a history of CP website. It did talk about institutionalization and the changing of that, but thankfully that's not the case, and we live in this enlightened time that we do. Finally, I have to end on a somber note before I get into this poem. Um, Unfortunately, my Uncle Jack has passed away 2 days ago, and I just found out about 20 minutes ago. Now, I didn't know Jack very well, but he is my cousin's dad, and my cousin Double O, man, he's one of my very best friends my whole life. And Double O, I know you gotta be hurting, brother, but you gotta remember this. You know Josh got you for life, man. So anytime that you need, man, 4 in the morning, you want to have a drink, man, 4 in the morning, Josh can't pee, I got you, brother, because these are special circumstances. And I just lost a very good friend of mine as well in November, who many folks said was like my dad, and so I know what that's like, and you know it's kind of hard to look at it this way right now, perhaps, but I know Double O that old Jack and Wayne's looking down on us now, not constrained by the crack of limitations of this existence. So if you think about it, it's kind of sad, but I think they're going to be able to help us out in a more complete way where they're at now. Unconstrained, Double O. Like I said, I got you. So I'm gonna get in this poem real quick, and I hope y'all like this very much. And forgive me, I'm gonna read it, but it's a newly acquired skill of mine, so I have to show off my reading abilities. This is called "Lest We Forget the Progress We've Made." For the bulk of human history, slavery was as commonplace as marriage. Our astonishment at that irrefutable truth shows we live in a remarkably enlightened age, relatively speaking. Now, let's not forget there are slaves today. They're thousands of miles away in famine-stricken, pestilent hells, or, if they are nearby, hardly anybody knows, because thankfully we would not tolerate that today. The most powerful nation in the world has a black man for its figurehead. 200 years ago, that same man would have likely worked the salt mines in Chicago, unable to vote, sue, bear arms, or even be free. And even if you're not his biggest fan, with his kowtowing to the corporate elite and his drone attacks that have killed far more innocents than his predecessor, you cannot deny how incredible it is that 200 years has allowed a slave to be president. Consider someone like me with cerebral palsy. If I were born mere decades ago, I wouldn't have gone to your school. I would live in an institution with people like me who are nothing like me. And it's not just when I exist, where. In 2006, I met a young woman from rural Japan who hadn't seen disabled folks because in her town, they don't go outside. If this evening happened at a different time or different place even, I wouldn't be able to share these thoughts with you right now. And that's a blessing perhaps just as incredible as Barack's presidency. So yes, lest we forget the progress we've made and count our lucky stars that we're not stuck in those not so long ago, not so far away incarcerations. But we must not forget most of all, if we want the world to be any better. It took dreamers and revolutionaries, righteous men and women, special folks who knew the status quo was simply unacceptable, and they fucking changed it. So Barack is president, but does that mean every black man and woman could be? Is poverty gone? Is education free? Does racism exist now only in the dark, deep recesses of the Ku Klux Klan? So, I live in my own apartment. I'm here tonight. But do I really have a chance to make a living? Do you really see any cripples in show business? Do the majority of women I ask go think nobody will judge them for dating a cripple? Maybe. Someday. I hope so. Lest we forget the progress we made, if we ever want the world to be better than it is today.